Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. Today I'm at Wilmington Country Club, and today we'll introduce you to Gary Cowan. It's his return to Wilmington, where in 1971 he won the US Amateur Championship and did it with a fantastic shot on the final hole. How about an Eagle 2 on the South Course's 18th hole to win it all back in '71? And we're going to Concord Country Club, where renovation and change is in the wind for the members at Concord, both on the course and off. So it's Gary Cowan back at Wilmington and the changes at Concord next here on Inside Golf. The 27th season of Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf, the First Tee of Greater Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Association of Golf Course Superintendents, the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, Jersey Man and Philly Man Magazine, and Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
Golf is the great equalizer. For many, this journey is an escape from reality, a chance to be part of a team, a career opportunity. PGA Reach impacts lives through golf by lifting people up, giving them hope, and sending them down an alternate path that they never saw coming. With PGA Reach Philadelphia, as in life and in golf, the most important shot you take is the next one.
Parking is free!
Hey! $4! Yes!
With so many affordable things to do in Montgomery County, PA, go ahead, freak out.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues at Wilmington Country Club, and I am about to introduce to you a legendary golfer, especially in his native Canada. Folks, meet Gary Cowan. Gary, it is an honor and a pleasure to be sitting here at Wilmington Country Club with you. Wilmington means so much to Gary Cowan. Thanks for joining us today.
It really does. I appreciate being here.
The reason why it means so much to Gary is because back in 1971, he won the US Amateur for the second time. The first time he did it was 1966 at Merion, and then 5 years later, right behind us here on this beautiful golf course, you won the '71 Amateur, and you did it with style. And some people may say you shocked the golf world with the shot heard around not just Wilmington, Delaware, but around Canada and around the United States. What happened on that 18th hole in that match against Eddie Pierce to win it all?
Well, it wasn't really projected, whatever. It was just a matter of, how can I say it? I was trying to check the scoreboard, which I couldn't do, and check the pin placement, which I could do, all that stuff, you know, and so on. So anyway, my friend from the USGA, Phil Strubing, was sort of on my tail all the time, so I just sort of thought I needed to get relaxed a little bit. So, and then I just went out and knocked it in the hole.
Yeah, you had taken your tee shot on 18, and it kind of drifted a little bit to the left, almost wound up in a bunker.
I hooked it. I hooked it.
Okay.
It hit the bunker and bounced
I wanted
out.
to be a little more gentler, but
Yeah. Well, I did. I was trying to hook it, and it went too far, and it hit the bunker and rolled out.
Right. You're about 135 yards from the hole, and your opponent, Eddie Pierce, he was already on the green in two.
No, he was finished.
So you take what, 9-iron?
No, it was a 2-iron now. It used to be a 9-iron, but now it's a 2-iron.
He's got a sense of humor, folks.
Anyway, I had been pretty good with shots out of the rough, thanks to a friend of mine, Al Balding from Toronto, Ontario. So anyway, I knew what to do, and I just closed the face, made a good swing at it, went straight up and into the edge of the green, started to roll, and I didn't know that it went in, but Howdy Giles did, because he saw it go in.
Howdy sees everything like that.
That's right.
So you made a deuce, and you won your second U.S. Amateur right here at Wilmington Country Club, huh? And this is your second time back on the property since then, right? You came
That's
back,
right.
what, late 90s?
Yeah.
Played a little golf?
Yeah.
This is sort of a victory lap for you. Yesterday you played at Merion, where in 1966 you beat Dean Beeman for the US Am. Then, as he mentioned, came here to Wilmington 5 years later and won there. Tell me about the Dean Beeman match. I mean, I read about it, how everybody thought, well, poor Dean Beeman blew the US Amateur, and they hardly ever mentioned who won it. What was this guy? Gary Cowan, right? Down the stretch, you came up with some big holes there.
When an article in the golf world had Dean Beeman, how I lost the US Amateur. So that sort of got me a little, whatever you might want to call it.
Upset, I would say, a little bit.
It's a little more than that. But it took me a long time to come back, and when I came back, and I wanted it at Merion or at Wilmington, and I'm doing the interview, so there's a number of press people and so on, and he says, all right, who's going to ask the first question? I popped up. I am. Who's there from Sports Illustrated? And some fellow just at the corner says, I am, and I'm going to do a much better job than what happened 5 years ago. So
good for you.
I got my revenge.
You grew up in Kitchener. What was the golf course that you were associated with up there?
I started at Rockaway Golf Club.
And there's a book now that you wrote. It's called?
From Rockaway to Augusta.
How about that?
I was just going to say, and Rockaway is where some real good friends of mine, Jerry Kesselring and Bo Norman.
Everybody knows those guys.
Were 10 years older than me, and so on, and so that inspired me as well to, you get better. You play with guys that are better, and you get better, and that's how it worked with me. So Rockaway to Augusta.
You played, thanks to winning the US Amateur twice, you played at Augusta. How many times?
I played 8 times in the tournament at Augusta, but totally I probably played a couple hundred times.
Okay. You were low amateur 1964.
Yeah.
Tied for 25th or something like
Yeah.
that. That's pretty good. And another time, Jerry Barber, of course, a great player in the past, came to you and asked you, you were down there before one of the Masters, and wanted to know if you wanted to play a practice round, and you said sure. Yeah. And lo and behold, you go to the first hole, and who else is going to join you?
So it's 1967, and I had just won the amateur at Merion. I said to Jerry, we're putting, and I said, it's almost 10 o'clock. Don't you think we should go to the first tee? He said, oh yeah, we can go over there if you want. So we go over there, and Jerry said, let me go ahead. So he goes ahead, and I follow behind, and gets over there, and says, by the way, we're going to play with Ben Hogan, and here he is.
Ben Hogan.
So
Mr.
we
Hogan,
played.
how you doing, huh?
Years later, when I turned pro, and every time I would be paired with Jerry Barber, I would say, Jerry, I just want to thank you for letting me play with Hogan. And after about 4 or 5 times, he said to me, he says, Gary, he said, I have to let you know, it was Hogan who wanted to play with you. So.
How about that? You're a pretty special guy.
Apparently.
One other quick story about Augusta. You know how the legend is during the practice rounds one day, they all skip a ball across the pond at 16, the par 3. First guy to do it, Gary Cowan. And you were playing with Ben Crenshaw. He was an amateur.
Yeah.
And this is the 72 Masters after you won here at Wilmington in 71. What the heck? What gave you that idea?
Well, I've been doing that for years. Whenever I'd be near water or whatever, I would always try to skip it across. It's like a stone, you can skip a stone. I thought, if a stone will go, so will a golf ball. So we're up playing up with Ben on the 16th hole. And by the way, that was Ben's first time at being at Augusta.
Okay, he was still at Texas.
Well, yeah, because he won. He was 3rd, I think, at the US Amateur here at Wilmington. So anyway, so we hit our shots, then I go over, I got a ball in my pocket, and I go over to Ben, and he said, what are you going to do? He said, well, I'm going to skip it across the water. So I go and I skip it across the water, and the rocket's just about on the green. He looked at me and he said, well, do that again. So I thought, oh, I'll just do it now. And took another ball out and ran it, rolled across the green, and got it on the green. He said, do that again. Like he didn't know that.
Hey, he's a Texas boy. They don't.
Well, yeah, they got to find out for sure.
Sure.
So anyway, I did it again, and he said, well, let me try it. So Ben is, he's pretty particular. He's like chips stuff and like that. He doesn't really know how to do it. So he takes a couple of pops and goes in the water. He does it twice. And then I said to him, I said, Ben, you got to swing it hard and low, and it'll skip across. Then he did it and got it on. So.
And the rest is history. Now
It's all
everybody
history.
does it.
That's right.
Huh?
Been doing that for, well, started in '72.
Enjoy your round at one of your favorite courses in the world, Wilmington Country Club, right? You're going to have fun out there today?
It will be a favorite, for sure.
All right. Gary, it's a pleasure, like I said.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for sharing a great lifetime of golf. Gary Cowan. We'll be back, more of Inside Golf coming up.
Hi, Tony Salucci with the Beacon Group of Companies. If your company has between 50 and 500 employees enrolled in your health insurance plan, there's a really good chance we can reduce your costs significantly and increase the benefits employees receive. How do we do it? We put you together with several thousand employers of a similar size across the country so your company can get amazing buying power. Schedule a conversation with one of our employee benefits specialists today at mybeacongroup.com.
The Golf Association of Philadelphia. Founded in 1897, GAP is the nation's oldest regional or state golf association. We serve amateur golf in Eastern PA, Southern New Jersey, and all of Delaware. GAP welcomes all golfers, junior or senior, male or female, public or private. Join the Golf Association of Philadelphia today. Our mission is always to preserve, protect, and promote the great game of golf. Before you tee it up, look us up. Visit gapgolf.org to find out more.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. We're here at Concord Country Club in Westchester with Greg D'Antonio. Long time. I know he looks like a young guy. He is a young guy, but he's been here a long time. But Greg, first of all, glad to be back and see you.
Welcome back.
Superintendent, tough job for anybody, especially in 2024 with all the changes in how people tend to their golf course. But getting back to you, how many years now?
My 14th year here.
14th season. All right, Greg, let's talk about it. You made some changes. This is like change and renovation time for Concord. Tell us about what's been done out on the golf course.
Yeah, so most every hole on the golf course has been touched. The main impact holes have been the 14th through 16th holes, which have been rerouted, so they flow better, much more playable for our members during tournaments and member play. Tree removal, added fairway bunkers, and then most importantly, added length. We're just under 7,000 yards now from the tips as a par 71.
Everybody's getting into the length game, aren't they?
People hit it a long ways.
They sure do. They sure do. Accuracy, you said some more fairway bunkers. They put in the landing areas, so
Yes.
Guys are going to have to think twice.
A little more accurate off the tee, a little bit more penalty for an errant tee shot with both some specimen transplanted trees as well as some addition of fairway bunkers.
Right. You have hosted in the recent past, last 10 years, on 2 occasions, the Philadelphia section of the PGA's Championship, which is their big event at the end of the year. And now, this year, in early August, I think it's the 7th and 8th of
Yes.
August, you're going to be hosting one of GAP's, that's the Golf Association of Philadelphia, majors in the Patterson Cup. That's a big one coming up in August right here at Concord.
Yeah, it's the first major for the GAP that we've hosted since 2010, and the members and the leadership team are very excited to kind of, put all the renovation work on display and see how it kind of measures up for the best in the area.
Right. Renovation is almost a yearly thing, it seems, anymore. Back in the day, and I'm taking it back maybe 15, 20 years and beyond, things pretty much stayed the same, pretty stagnant. Maybe they'd knock down a dead tree or something like that. Now, people like yourself and club administration are constantly thinking, how do we make it better for the members and for guests or whatever, correct?
Yeah, so you're just trying to get better each day, each year. You're constantly you know, trying to improve the member experience for both them and their guests. And you know, even the best of the best are constantly evolving. You look at someone like Augusta National, every year they're changing something, and for us in the wintertime, we're always trying to use that downtime to improve things for the next year as the best that financial, you know, our financial parameters allow.
Concord has a pretty rich history. It's, I guess, coming up on actual centennial year. I think it'll be 2027. Originally, this was a 9-hole facility, right? It was called Brinton Lake.
Yes.
And that's way back at the turn of the century. I think even William Flynn was involved, wasn't he, in the early days? William Flynn was everywhere, folks.
He was, in
He was
Philadelphia,
even out
for
here,
sure.
for Philadelphia to be sure. But tell us about what happened. It evolved, and it was involved as a sister club with Wilmington Country Club, which is only a few minutes south of here.
Yeah, so it was originally a 9-hole course known as the Brinton Lake Club. It was founded in 1918, and it was more of a retreat, you know, from people in the city, both Wilmington and Philadelphia. There actually is a lake kind of over ways a little bit.
So it was like a summer resort?
For sure, yep. There's cottages around the lake. All 18 holes opened in 1927, where it was renamed Concord Country Club. After the Great Depression, it was actually purchased by Wilmington Country Club. It was kind of a feeder club. While you were on the wait list at Wilmington, you could play here. And then sometime, we think in the 70s, it was purchased by an heir of the DuPont family. They owned it for about 30 years, and then it was purchased by the members in 1997. And it's currently a member equity owned club today.
So it's got a pretty rich history of people who have been members here. And like we said, things always are on the growth sphere when it comes to golf, and especially here at Concord.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, it's great talking to you, Greg. Good
Thanks.
luck. You got a busy summer, right?
Absolutely. Every summer's busy.
I hope it's not too hot for you.
Great to see you again.
Well, let me introduce you to the relatively new general manager here at Concord Country Club. His name is Mike Strain. Welcome to Concord.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
I'm sure you've heard that a lot. Why have you heard that a lot? Because you've only been here since when?
I've been here since March 1st. I just relocated from the Georgia market. I was in Atlanta running a club down there, and made my way north to enjoy the 4 seasons. They're up here in the beautiful area. So.
Well, it's hot here. Not as hot, I bet, as it is in Atlanta right now.
I've gotten an escape from the humidity, that's for sure.
All right. So you've been here a relatively short period of time, and what you've inherited has been a lot of renovations. We talked to Greg about what's been done on the golf course, but in the infrastructure area, especially like for dining and things like that, both indoors and outdoors where we are here on the patio overlooking this beautiful property. Tell us your impressions of what was done and what you were given when you arrived here, Mike.
Absolutely. Well, the club has embarked upon a multi-year and multi-million-dollar capital campaign over the course of the last 3 years, and we have several years more to go in our long-range plan. But the work that's been done has been terrific. They've certainly renovated lower dining levels from one end of the building to the other, offering members semi-formal to pub to family style, which is really the sign of the times in member experiences, which is terrific. We've done renovations to our ladies and men's bathrooms, as well as the locker rooms, and several other key touch points throughout the member experience here. So we're taking this approach of sort of inside to out, and the work that Greg and his team have done on the golf course, coupled with enhancements on the inside, make for a wonderful experience for our members these days.
Yeah, talking about enhancements, you got a new cart barn.
We do.
Even a cart barn is new with some new electric carts.
Absolutely.
That's a big difference. What's the biggest difference between gas-powered carts and electric carts?
Well, certainly the noise, the noise that they use. It's an exciting time. You know, we're at that point in our renovation life cycle. And we can do that because starting in 2017, the aquatics facility was renovated, and we expanded most recently our pickleball and our paddleball courts. We now have 4 of both of those. We added another hard court for tennis, now getting us up to 6 courts for tennis. So when you look at the aquatics and you look at the tennis and you look at the dining and you look at the golf course, it's not that we're looking for additional products to do, but we can attack things like that maybe are normally down the list.
Well, there you go. And Mike, you be my guest. For more information on Concord, where would we get it?
Please join us on our website at www.concordclub.org, or feel free to give myself or anyone else a call at the club, and we'd love to speak with you.
It's been around since, well, almost 100 years.
We're getting close.
And, you know, over that centennial of time, it certainly has grown, especially by leaps and bounds in the last couple of years with a new general manager, Mike Strain. Mike, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the Philly area.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back. More to come on Inside Golf. Next up, our teed-off panel is ready to go. Our teed-off panel is brought to you by Lulu Country Club. Welcome back. Inside Golf continues. It's our teed-off panel from the back deck at Lulu Country Club in Upper Dublin. We're under the sails, or whatever you want to call this. We're comfortable. Rather be out there playing golf, but maybe a little bit later on. Joining us today, before he gets out of town, is Joe Giuliano. You remember Joe? He was on the very first teed-off panel almost 30 years ago. And look at him. He hasn't changed a bit. He's got the same shorts on. No, I'm only kidding.
Yes, I do. These are the same
But
shorts. How did you know?
Joe covered golf. He covered college sports, basketball, football. He spent more time up at State College. He probably could have gotten a degree from Penn State. He spent so much time up there.
Let's not go there, Harry.
I know that. Anyhow, Joe Giuliano. Next to him is Joe Logan. Joe also worked for the Inquirer, covering everything, right? He even covered basketball. I didn't know that. Yeah. He's with myphillygolf.com. And this is Ryan Gano. Ryan was on the show a while ago, but he runs All Access GTE golf travel events over in Marlton in New Jersey. If you like to travel and like to go to big time events, this is the guy. All right, Ryan, I got a question for you. Most people in the Mid-Atlantic region, when they go on golf trips, they like to go in the wintertime or maybe in the shoulder season.
Yeah.
What about summertime? Do you get many people looking to go away in the summertime here in the Mid-Atlantic region and going someplace else to play?
Yeah, I would say 90% of the golf travel that we do is during the summer months. And nobody wants to leave their club.
How about that?
But where do most people go to travel to play golf? They go to Ireland, they go to Scotland, they go to England. There is a certain time limit, and that means that you might have to leave sunny, beautiful Philadelphia for a few days to do the golf trip. So if you want to go play the old course, you want to go play Royal County Down or Sunningdale, as we were talking about off camera, you do that during the summer. So that's when people travel.
Yeah, I would have never thought that, but it makes sense.
Probably 90% of all the travel we do is over the summer months.
And most of it is to
GB&I, yep.
How about that? Joe, have you ever had a summer golf trip either to Great Britain and Ireland or here domestic in the States?
As a matter of fact, I just was in Scotland and Ireland in September, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
You get around. Is that when you sent us the picture of, and some guy recognized you at St. Andrews from Inside Golf?
He walked up to me, standing next to the 18th green of the old course, and said, "You're Joe Logan, aren't you? I've seen you on Harry Donahue's show."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Round, get around. Go ahead, finish the story.
But I mean, like I was saying before, we were talking earlier, Lake Tahoe I went to, that was one of the greatest golf trips. And I never thought of Lake Tahoe as a golf destination.
Who'd you play with, John Elway or somebody? Or
no, but he was out there. I saw him in the airport, actually.
Oh, man.
But like northern Michigan, Wisconsin is where you're moving to. That's a fabulous golf state. In fact,
who'd you play with, Andy North?
Or Michigan, the Sand Hills, Cabot Lodge in Canada. There are all these great places to go in the summertime. You just don't want to go to like Florida.
All right, Joe Giuliano, you are moving to Madison, Wisconsin.
I am.
All right. You heard him just mention a 2-month window in a place like that. Maybe you get 3 months. Have you thought about this, Joe? And do you really know what you're doing?
Well, yeah, I do know what I'm doing, I think. But one of the friends of Joe and I with the Golf Writers is Gary D'Amato. Gary is former president of the Golf Writers Association and also the publisher of Wisconsin Golf. So he knows all the great places to go for golf up there. It was so funny too. I checked the upcoming U.S. Women's Open, and next year's Women's Open will be at Erin Hills, where they played the U.S. Open, 8-10 years ago, I guess?
17, I think it was, maybe 16.
Yeah, okay.
That's a Dana Fry design, if I'm not mistaken.
Erin Hills? Oh,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
Hurdson too? Mike Hurdson?
I think they were maybe together, yeah.
So, but anyway, my favorite trip actually for golf in the summertime was I went to the 3 Atlantic provinces in Canada. Went to Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick. And I didn't see any, I wasn't a cab, but I was basically a public course hacker who actually slept in the parking lot in Prince Edward Island before the tea time the next day. But it was pretty cool. And then Joe will tell you, like, we've been to a lot of British Opens, you know, to work, but a lot of the work sometimes just slipped away for some golf at my favorite place in Scotland is Crail, which is 10 miles down the road from St. Andrews, the old course. It's one of the great places I've ever seen. And Gilhan's has the inland course, Craighead, and then the balcony course is along the water. It's fantastic.
Wow. If you ever need like 2 guys to fill out a foursome,
Yeah.
huh?
I just did
Wintertime, summertime, anytime,
Yeah,
right? Giuliano and Logan.
We're there.
Just say, hey, Joe, and one of them will answer.
What time are we teeing off? Let's go.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. More of Inside Golf coming up.
The J. Wood Platt Caddy Scholarship Trust is the official charitable arm of GAP. The Trust's mission is to financially aid and empower qualified caddies and those working in golf operations in the pursuit of higher education. Over $25 million has been awarded to more than 3,700 caddies. J. Wood Platt's Empower program strengthens scholarship investment dollars by providing our scholars with exceptional benefits. Visit our website, plattscholar.org, to learn more.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Our thanks to everybody at Concord for showing us how they're making a lot of changes on and off the course at Concord Country Club. And, of course, here at Wilmington, our thanks to everybody, as returning to the scene of his 71 Amateur Championship was Canadian Gary Cowan. What an enjoyable conversation. I hope you enjoyed it maybe half as much as I did. I'm Harry Donahue. You know, golf's a great game, isn't it? Just ask Gary Cowan. We'll see you next time on Inside Golf. The 27th season of Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf, the First Tee of Greater Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Association of Golf Course Superintendents, the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, Jersey Man and Philly Man Magazine, and Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia section of the PGA.